When you shut down vulnerability, you shut down opportunity. If you search the internet for quotes about vulnerability, you are sure to find a ton of powerful quotes written by author and sociological researcher Brené Brown, who has spent the past 2 decades studying courage, vulnerability, shame, and empathy. Undoubtedly, we won't find one among us that escapes thoughts and feelings of insecurity, whether we are overly critical of our appearance, the choices we've made, or the way we perform the various roles in our lives. We all have insecurities, and we all work hard to hide them from others. We've all pondered the question of whether or not we are acceptable to others or could be accepted by others if we are fully seen and known. Vulnerability is often thought of as a difficult emotion, and most times we avoid falling into this place by armoring ourselves. When it comes to avoiding the discomfort that comes with vulnerability, we might find ourselves numbing, perfecting, blaming, or controlling. But what we don't often see is that in our avoidance of vulnerability, we are not able to view it as a source of goodness. While vulnerability is certainly the partner of difficult emotions, it is also the pathway to positive emotions, such as belonging, joy, love, and hope. When we are being vulnerable, we are most certainly going to feel uncomfortable, and learning to deal with the discomfort is important. Vulnerability requires courage and compassion. Courageousness is a sign of strength that involves taking on the risk of painful emotions for the chance of gaining something greater. The real truth is, we aren't really being vulnerable if we can't get hurt in the process. Compassion is recognizing suffering and taking action. It represents a tangible expression of love for the sufferer, and while compassion for others often comes more easily, compassion for ourselves is just as important. Compassion and love requires us to let go of ideal versions of ourselves and others and start embracing truth. Likely one of the most profound illustrations of vulnerability is Jesus at the moment of his crucifixion. Naked, nailed to the cross, arms stretched out, barefooted and barely clothed, positioned high above for all to see, as he hangs fully exposed, being mocked for his earthly efforts. Jesus is the epitome of vulnerability, selflessness, holding nothing back, open, loving, and the picture of total submission to God and to others. Jesus lived the truth in the face of disbelief, scrutiny, abuse, and mockery. He gave us nothing but authenticity from the moment he was born into the world until he died on the cross. He gave us every ounce of himself, and through his vulnerability, we can come into a greater love, a deeper understanding, and an unparalleled connection with him. As Christians, we are called to vulnerability. In fact, we were created for the purpose of connection to God and to others, and vulnerability is the pathway for achieving that purpose. So believe that you are enough, love with your whole heart, have the courage to be you, and surrender fully to God. For more mental health minutes, check out the Catholic Social Services YouTube page and subscribe.